Yep, that's it. Oh, close.
This is Michael's fault. No kidding.
All right, so we're here at our Crescent Street house move, and things are really starting to get exciting today. We've got a whole bunch of challenges that we've overcome, but we're still got a lot more that we're working with. One of them today, we were supposed to move the house down the road, but we got a big rainstorm and there's a lot of mud, and only today has the ground start to solidify and freeze, which is good. We've then got the septic tank that we're working with right over here, so we've worked to avoid that and had to excavate to bring the house out over the driveway. We did trim all the trees, we've got the utilities, we've got Eversource, we've got Comcast, and we've got Verizon that all have to lift their cables so we can get this house underneath it. But otherwise, we've got the building movers here on site. Jim and Jack are ready to move the house out over the driveway so that we can get the trailer in here and get ready to move it down the street next week. Things are really starting to get exciting, and I can't wait to watch this roll over on the beams. It's gonna be pretty neat. So what Jim and Jack have been working on is they put in all these steel members, and basically this is the carrier right here.
Right.
And then you get the skating beams here.
Okay.
Right. And then these are pretty fascinating. They were just putting the grease on these. They're little rollers or skates, and they actually can turn and pivot.
Oh, okay.
And so they'll work on jacking this up,
Right.
and getting the carriers onto these skates, and then they'll slowly skate the house on these beams out into the driveway.
Wow.
Right. Isn't that pretty neat?
Wild.
Yeah. But you can see, so they got the hydraulic jacks. Right,
Yeah, I see that.
in the cribbing,
Yeah.
and that is what allowed the house to get raised up here.
Right.
But now we can see all the framing and
Yeah, the framing looks good.
Yeah.
It's been replaced at some point. Some of it.
Some of this definitely has. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have some of the original
Oh,
stuff
I see
under
over
there.
Yeah. It looks good though. It looks like it doesn't really need that much replacing.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
There's a couple of weak sections. But
Wow.
then I'll have to get James inside here to help us with the chimney and figure out how to
Right.
re-support it.
Yep.
All right, so we're in the heart of the house on Crescent Street that we're gonna move, and we're literally underneath the chimney. I have a firebox here, one over here, and then we can see up into the flues in the chimney, all the brickwork and everything. I'm sitting on top of the old base that comprised kind of the stone monolith that held the chimney up. And we can see all the rubble and old brickwork here. Now, it is a little bit creepy because this house probably weighs 80 to 100,000 pounds. And we're relying on these steel supports and the wood to hold everything up here. So we have myself and Jaden, our cameraman, and Eric here. And if this let go, which it won't, knock on steel, we'd be crushed instantly, so we probably wouldn't know it, but it's still pretty neat. But what we've got is all of these huge steel members on cribbing that span the whole length of the house. And what we're gonna do today is work on moving this house on these carrying beams out into the driveway. And once it's in the driveway, then we can get it in position to put it on the trailer so then we can take it down the street. But I mean, this is just a view that you don't get to see a lot, and it's just crazy. I mean, this is like being an archaeologist and seeing back through time all the stonework, all the supports, all the masonry that went into this. It's just fascinating. So there's a saying we have in New England that goes something like this: if you don't like the weather, wait a minute. So we just went from 50, 60 degrees and rain to now ice, and everything is frozen. So typical day in New England here. But Jack and Jim are working away here trying to get all the skates and everything all set so that we can continue to jack the house to move it out over the driveway. And what they're doing right now is, you can see the hydraulic jacks. There's 6 of them, 3 on this side and 3 on the other side. And they have to come up about 8 inches to get this carrying beam onto these skates. And then what they'll do is move the building out. And what they're doing in the process of that is they'll slowly raise the house, and then they'll take the cribbing and they'll rebuild the cribbing out on the driveway here. And that's what they're starting to do right now, to give these beams more support when the whole entire house moves towards the driveway. It's a very delicate process, but if you do it slowly, it's very straightforward. This is exciting. So, an amazing day. We have the house on Crescent Street lifted up and moved over the driveway, and now the real challenge is going to start. So we're going to have to bring the trailer in here and get it under the center of the carrying beams, and then lower the house down, and then we're going to take it down the street, which presents a whole bunch of challenges on its own. Let's take a little walk. So moving a house takes a lot more than people might realize. Again, you have to coordinate all the different utilities. You have to make sure that you've got your road permit, the police and fire, and your DPW is organized and coordinated. And then you got to make sure that they're all on the same page working together. One of the steps is to clear all the trees, which we've done here, right? So that's taking any of the limbs, anything that the house might hit as we go down the street, so we get a nice clear path. Road signs, anything that would be in the way, we have to make sure we take care of all of it. Now, when you have several different parties all coming to the table, you have to make sure all their schedules work. And it's been no exception this time. We've moved this house 3 times already. More recently so because we were dealing with rain and weather and mud. A 100,000-pound house getting towed down the street through mud is not what you want. Locally in town here, we have an elementary school right around the corner. So when we are targeting to move this house, we're gonna have the buses coming and taking all the children to school. So what we're gonna try to do is wait until just after the buses have stopped, and then we're gonna try to come down the street here and sneak right around the corner, and then make sure that we're out of the way by the time school is out and all the kids need to go home. The driveway to the school is right here. There's a couple of things that we have to be concerned with. Now, the basic width of the house as we're going down the road, we don't want to hit the telephone pole here, and we don't want to hit any of the trees. The signs on the island in the middle of the road, and then of course any traffic. What we're gonna have to do is close the roads down for a certain period of time. And then the goal is gonna be to kind of swing to the left here, and I think the house will have just enough room to skate over the edge of the road here. It's a really brisk day here in New England, which is good because the ground is now frozen, but so are we. So we've limbed all the trees down the road here as well. So this should give us plenty of space here. And again, the house is turned sideways, so the gable of the house is what's gonna be coming down the road. But we've got a few power lines that we're gonna have to be concerned about down here as well. So as we're coming right down here, here's one of the power lines we're gonna have to think about. we've actually got a service line that goes in and provides the power for a house right here. So that line's gonna have to go up so the house can sneak underneath it. You can see that right there. So the house is gonna have to come down the street on the trailer, and we're gonna have to move this wire up and get the house underneath it. The house is 28 feet high on the trailer. We're probably looking at about 22 right there. So it's important to have all the right people together to make this work so that our neighbors don't lose power to their house. Now this spot's gonna probably be the trickiest out of all the spots that we have to navigate. We've got an intersection here that's got the Y and the straight. So this is Ring Road on to Main Street. Now we've got a big utility pole right in the center here. And what we're gonna have to do is try to stay to the right of that utility pole. And that means all of these wires, all the telecommunications and cable wires, all have to go up, the power wires, everything, so we can get the house around to the right and underneath all these wires. Verizon's been a huge help here. Comcast has been right there when we needed them, and Eversource, they're all gonna be out here to make this happen. They've had to take some weeks to prepare to get slack out of all of these lines, so there'll be enough to move it up. You can see the slack that they created right here on the corner, and it's all balled up. And that'll give us enough flexibility to move the lines. All right, we're almost home when it comes to moving this house. The lot's right up the road here. So here we go. Now here's the new entrance to our lot. Now when we were working on this the other day, you can see all this stone that we have here. Had a dump truck come by to drop the stone off so we could help make this apron smoother. Well, the dump truck weighs 35,000 pounds and it got stuck right here immediately. So that's not good, because the house and the trailer weighs about 100,000. What we're gonna have to do is have the house either backed in here or driven in straight, and then the house and the trailer have to be able to angle back into here so we can get the house situated somewhere right around here. Then we'll put that up on cribbing and let it sit here until we have the house location, which is right back there, cleared and have a new foundation put in. And then we'll bring the trailer back here and move the house to the new location, pour a foundation, and then drop the house onto that foundation. As of a couple of days ago, this was so squishy that we didn't think we were gonna be able to make this work. Now it's frozen solid, but like we said, it's New England. If you don't like the weather, just wait a minute. This could change tomorrow and turn back into a quagmire, so we'll see. There's so many moving parts in this, but I'm glad that the house is in the air, in the right position, and we're gonna see what comes at us next. But I think we get the right team together to help pull all of this off. All right, so we're here at our Crescent Street house move, and the semi just showed up with the lowboy trailer. He's backing it in right underneath. Check this out. This is just awesome. I'm absolutely psyched. We've never done this before, but soon we're gonna lower the house down onto that trailer and pull right out of the road and head that way with it. It's gonna be awesome. Today is the big day. We are here at Crescent Street. Jen and I and the whole Full Circle team are here to watch this house move. It's a cold, crisp New England morning. So as they say, America runs on Dunkin'. Well, we're all running on Dunkin' today. But we've got the trailer moved underneath the house. The guys are getting ready to lower it down onto the trailer. And then it's gonna come out here and go right around the corner. We've got people here from Eversource, Verizon, Comcast, all the utilities providers are here to help. The police, fire, everybody, we're closing down the streets. This is pretty exciting, don't you think?
Oh, I think it's exciting. I'm gonna give you all the credit on this one, whether it works or it doesn't work. This is Michael's fault. No, I'm kidding.
Especially if it doesn't work.
But no, Michael worked really hard on coordinating this. We moved the move like 6 or 7 times.
I think it was 4.
But
it feels like that.
A lot of coordinating. We've been talking about this for years. We were going to just move it over to that lot over there.
Yep.
And now we're moving it about a mile down the road. So wish us luck. But kudos to Mike for all the coordinating on this one.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Alex, what do you think? You've never moved a house before, right?
Never. This is the first, and it's been an experience.
Yeah, exactly.
So far, so good.
Sweet.
But we shall see.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yep.
Christina, what do you think?
I've been a lover of old homes my entire life. You know, my father was a carpenter, and this is unlike anything I've ever seen. But yeah, it's really exciting to see this in progress.
Yeah.
I've learned that there's a lot more steps in this than the first day we walked around. It was, oh, we're just going to dig a couple pockets here. Well, this is way more than a couple pockets.
So, full circle crew here, very instrumental helping us get this whole entire project together and putting it together. Eric this morning said, I didn't really think this was gonna go this way, and this is pretty cool. What do you guys think?
Yeah, very impressive. Getting it up like that, gotta love it.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is crazy, and now he's making us all crazy. Like, this is like
So crazy.
big trucks, you know, we're like kids in a playground, and like, it's happening today.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Rich, how about you?
Oh, it's amazing that we actually we're gonna be able to see this move.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, it's a historical event.
So John's one of our selectmen in town, and John's lived across the street from this house for how long?
54 years.
54 years.
Yeah. This is the first time I'll see it change.
Really? Yeah. And what do you think? Is this pretty exciting?
Oh, this is. I'm really interested in finding out the ownership of what got here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, for
So
sure.
this will be nice. This will be
Great. We're glad to be able to do it.
Yes. Well, it's a big piece of Plympton's history.
Yep. And that's what we're all about, trying to preserve more history, and we're just glad to get the opportunity. So we're sitting right by the corner of the house here, and we're watching Jim and Jack Gordon as they're moving the cribbing underneath here. And Jen and my neighbor Dave here with his dog Honey, who's our unofficial mascot, was just asking how they lower it onto the trailer. And what we're watching right here is on these big steel carrying beams, we've got these hydraulic jacks. There's 6 of them, and that goes over to the truck that Jim and Jack Gordon have on site here that has a hydraulic mechanism that operates each one of these jacks. What they do is they start building cribbing on the trailer, and they can remove the cribbing, which are these wood blocks, and raise and lower with these jacks to get it at the right level and drop it onto the trailer. Then the truck driver, Paul, is able to let the air out of the bags on the truck here and get this trailer down low to the ground so that they've got the maximum amount of room to work with. When we're ready to go, he can inflate the bags and bring the trailer up to give clearance to get us out onto the road. It's a time-consuming process, but when it's done right, very straightforward. So we're here, we're ready, it's go time. We're gonna start trying to pull the truck out and move the house. We've got a real nasty corner we gotta get around here. They've been backing it in and out of the driveway, and now it's going along. All right, so we've reached one of our first hurdles here. We've got a choke point coming out of the driveway between this big maple tree and this pole. We're so close. We're just trying to get around this tree and we only need like a couple of inches. Yep, that'll just lift it. Ho-ho! Woohoo! All right, we're around the corner and we're out on the road moving forward. This is great. We officially own the mess that is this house. It has now left the former property and it's all ours. Wow, look at how close that is. So this house literally just fits down this road. We got a couple of choke points right here, and Jim Gordon is directing the truck driver which way to go, left or right, so we can avoid the signs and any of the trees, and it is close. Oh. Is that your mailbox, guys? Oh, is it cemented in? Oh, shit. You sure? Okay, hang on. Yep, that's it. That's it. Excellent. Little by little, inch by inch. So one mailbox, one sign vent, and we're doing good. So another painstaking point coming up. We made the first intersection, yay! We're coming up to the second one, and then we get a lot that just goes off the road that we're gonna have to get this into. So we have a Bradford house over here, and another one here, and we're gonna pass another Bradford house. We're putting them all back together. Wow! We're coming up to the next intersection now, and a couple more lines to cross and then going into the new lot. You can see we've got all the lines down right here. And this all the utility crews had to be out here working hard to get all this ready for us. So here's Bradford house number 2 right here. Just a big family reunion. As a mechanical engineer, what do you think about it?
I'm going home.
You're going home?
I think it's doable.
Yeah.
So far, you know, a few mailboxes, a sign or two.
Exactly.
But they got to make the wires, then you're home.
I mean, I'm surprised that it made it without, well, so far, I'm not going to jinx it, so it's a little slow going, but it looked wider than the street, so.
I think it's very exciting for the town. And this is a once in a lifetime for a lot of people.
John, have you ever seen a house get moved like this, and what do you think?
I haven't seen a house get moved, period. So this is pretty awesome. It's an amazing process, and I couldn't fathom how they were going to do it, and here they are making it happen.
It's really wild. I mean, there was a whole parade of us just walking behind it down the street, and I was like, when in our lifetime are we going to do this again? And I quickly said, well, if it's up to Mike, we'll do this again like next year. But it's really impressive just how much comes together with the community, but it is easily making it down the street. It's taking a long time, but it's making it down the street.
Natalie, can you tell us what you think of this?
I think it's really cool.
Awesome.
And I wish I was driving the truck.
Would it get there in one piece if you were?
Yeah, and a lot faster.
Excellent.
Yeah.
We're sitting here with Rob from RW Bryant. They subcontract for Comcast and help provide all the services that we're in need of today. Rob, what is it like for you to work on this house move, and have you ever done this before?
It's all the same. I've been doing it for 45 years.
See, so this is the type of guy that we need, somebody that's done it a million times.
I think that we have the coolest job in the world.
It's definitely been a crazy experience. No, I've never done a detail for a house movement or a relocation of a house. It's pretty cool to watch. You guys are doing great. Everything's going good and safe, and that's what we like, and that's what we want to keep.
We're at our last intersection that we have to deal with, and what we have to do once we get through here is head down the street. So we're gonna take a right and head down Main Street, and then our lot's about 200 feet up on the left. And then hopefully we're home free. Look at that. That's so close. Whoop. All right, we are literally 3/4 of the way through the last intersection, and we have this one power wire that we have to get. It's about 6 inches above the chimney. So the driver's gonna lower the house slightly, and then Eversource is gonna get up there and I think try to just raise that cable up and over the chimney. But after that, we're pretty much home free. Nail biter. So this is crazy. The mud in this lot is making it really treacherous. And we got plywood out and we're trying to keep this balanced so nothing sinks in. Let's see what Jen thinks. Jen, what do you think of all this?
I am excited that it has actually made it off the street right now. It's a little nerve-wracking actually to see it go down the street. Everyone, the crews that have helped, Eversource, Verizon, the cops. Sorry, Plympton, for losing your cable for a little bit, but it's finally in the lot, sort of. I'm very excited to see it here. I just want to see it get all the way in here and not sink into the mud.
Yeah.
Said we're gonna move a house, and we moved it.
We're all beef, but the house is here. It is on its new site. And this is just, to me, a huge win for historic homes. Another home that could have gone in the dumpster. We've now moved it to a new home. There's a lot more to come. We've got a lot of site work to do here, so keep checking us out. We really appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to subscribe and like any of our videos, and we can't wait to show you more.